morning, and welcome to Ministry Share Reimagine What You Can Expect, step number 2. I'm Jeff Bolt. I'm Director of Advancement for the Christian Reformed Church in North America in the U.S. And I'm here with Peter Algersma. He's the Director of the Christian Reformed Church of North America in Canada. And we are excited to be here today to talk to you about step 2 of Ministry Share Reimagine. Peter?
Thanks, Jeff. So here's a quick infographic of the key 6 steps that we have. Today, as mentioned, we're going to focus in on step number 2, which talks to how church councils and congregations determine their pledge amount. One of the key things congregations need to think about is their own local ministries, their local priorities, and how those fit in to their budget. And ultimately, we hope that the local priorities or the congregational priorities include those of this wonderful thing that Ministry Share supports. The missionaries that we have together around the world and the programs that together we work on that benefit churches, congregations, and people across North America.
So exactly what are churches doing? We offered up different ways to determine a pledge, but now we're starting to hear from churches as to what they are planning to do. And we wanted to share with you 3 different options.
So we've talked to a few churches. One church in particular has shared with us that they are simply going to take last year's pledge, last year's Ministry Share gift, and add 5%. Their congregation has grown, as has their desire to support the ministries that the denomination is leading.
Another church indicated that they're going to start doing a tithe of their budget, a percentage giving from their budget to Ministry Shares.
A third church that we've talked to says that in previous years, they've made a flat contribution to Ministry Shares, be that $15,000, and they're planning to continue with that flat $15,000 amount as their pledge for next year. I'll close by saying those are 3 options, but there are many more. This is not a prescription of you should pick one of these 3, but feel free to be creative. Thank you. Jeff?
We also want to remind you of things to keep in mind as you're starting to build this pledge or make these decisions in pledging. First, this pledge is meant for July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022. That's about 10 months away yet. We're going to continue the original system through that time frame, and we will continue to give you information about that. But this pledge is really meant to start July 1 of 2021. This may create a change in your budget process. You may actually have to cross 2 budget years when you make this pledge. This is not a change. This is not unusual. We have a lot of churches that do this. It's something that you will have to work through in your church.
Also, according to church order, councils are allowed to make this decision on their own without full congregational participation. That may not be the wisest thing for your congregation to do. Always good to make sure the congregation is well aware. However, if timing does not allow that to happen, important to know that church order does permit it. The next point I'll add is that this does not change the way that classes is funded. In general, classes will continue to have their own Ministry Share system.
And finally, this does not include gifts to Raise Up or World Renew. Both these ministries do not receive Ministry Share dollars, and they will continue to need your giving and support apart from Ministry Shares.
The next step, always important to see why we're doing step 2. The next step is step 3. The fall classes meetings will be the collection of the pledges that the local congregations will be making. So your pledges need to be done prior to the fall classes meeting. And as we wrap up, just a couple of things that we wanted to share with you. crcna.org/ministry shares provides an excellent repository of bulletin inserts of an annual report that describes how these monies are used, wonderful videos that you can share with your congregation. You've also got our contact information, our email address right there. Feel free to email us if you have any other questions. Jeff, any other closing comments?
You know, Peter, just one last thing. if your congregation or your leadership would like to have us come and speak to you on this or answer questions that you have specifically, either one of us will be happy to meet with your congregation and talk to you more about these steps and the process that this is going to have to take. Beyond that, thank you very much for watching again another video on Ministry Share Reimagined, step number 2. We look forward to sharing some more videos ahead as we move into each individual step. So thank you and have a great day.